Hey, my name is Evangeline Young. I'm here with
Zealan Turner.
and this is Winging It. I worked on this show called Emergence, which was on ABC, and that was a really, really special project to work on because originally my part was just supposed to be like 2 lines in an episode, and they ended up expanding it and kind of making my part this sort of recurring thing. They created this really cool, fun, weird character, and I think I ended up being on like 8 or 9 episodes of the show or something, and like really got to contribute to the show, and that was really exciting because it felt like real-time feedback of like, oh yeah, we really, really like what you're doing, and we like it so much that we're just gonna like write you into the show. I couldn't believe it. It was like every time I got the email, I was like, yeah, they're bringing you back. I was like, what? This is so cool, and it was so fun.
Do you feel like you got to provide some direction for the development of that character, or do you feel like you were kind of just on the roller coaster, on the ride, and just like, okay, whatever turn we're taking, let's go?
I made a couple of choices with the part when it was just these 2 lines that I think the writers saw and thought was interesting, and I was like playing basically the lead of the show is this chief of police on Long Island, and I was playing her assistant, but I was sort of this like sassy, Long Island chick.
I can see it in your face right now, just kind of talking about it.
Yeah, I'm like getting into it again. Yeah. But so I think they maybe saw some traces of that, and then just like really, really ran with it, and I had so much fun doing that and kind of leaning into that, and they made that character just like weird and fun in awesome ways, and just made her interesting. In that movie called Jane, I got to work a little bit with Sigourney Weaver, and that was really kind of a thrill of a lifetime. She's just really a person to kind of like look up to and emulate, and she was so kind and very kind of unself-conscious and silly and humble, but then was so just on top of her stuff and good, and that was something I'll never forget.
When you go from job to job, it's not like you necessarily have any one direction or one path to follow. So, how do you do with the autonomy of kind of putting yourself out there in as many ways as possible and navigating the in between?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm still figuring out how to do that. It is really hard, and it's hard when you work on a show or you work on a project, and it's your favorite thing to do in the world, and you're having the best time, and then it comes to an end, and you're like, oh no, man, I need another job, and it's really tricky. And I would say a huge thing for me has been also having music as another outlet and something that I'm super passionate about, because it is like just mine. So it's like, I can at any point while I'm, waiting to hear about an audition or waiting for the next one to come in, or a job's just finished, I can go pick up a guitar and write a song or play a show. And
Tell me more about that. Tell me more. You're giving me little snacks. I want more.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm a singer-songwriter. Both my parents are folk musicians, so I grew up around that. But I didn't really kind of start having music as an outlet that I had ownership over until I was in like my later teens. Like with acting, I really love having my corner of things to contribute to a larger whole. I love, having a script that someone has written and interpreting it and figuring out, how to express it. And then with music, it's like mine. The words are mine. It's my, I'm writing about things that are personal to me, and there's still a lot of collaboration. I play solo sometimes. I play with bands. So I get a lot of that same kind of collaboration, but it's more kind of coming from me. It's these 2 avenues of creative expression that feed each other and also scratch different itches
I know it's completely different. So, can you talk to me a little bit about the emotional life that you're kind of uh, touching on that goes into when you bring yourself to a character in an acting role versus when you're writing and making your own music and you're clearly also bringing your emotional life to it. There's different ways of talking about that, but can you tell me a little bit about that process for you?
Both in acting and music, even if I'm not, playing a character who is exactly like me and has lived a similar life to me or whatever, um, I'm still expressing really personal things and sides of myself that I don't get to all the time in life. It's like kind of dialing different parts of yourself up and down depending on who you're playing. And sometimes you can bring a ton of yourself to it, or it's like, oh, it's really like the part of me that, this like silly, weird part of myself, or the part of myself that is really sensitive or whatever. And it's not dissimilar at all with music. And, depending on what kind of a song I'm writing, what story of my life or experience I'm talking about, it's still expressing different facets of myself and different parts of myself.
Do you think you would like to bring the music side of your life into the acting world, or do you feel like, no, they are separate for a reason? I need them. I need to, control this environment for myself and have that be mine. And let's
Mm.
not mix work and play.
I love when those things can come together, and I've had the chance to do that in short films I've done, and I've done like plays with music. I don't do as many like musicals, but I've done like theater with music, and um, I've played musicians and singer songwriters. I've written some songs for films, and when that can come together, it's almost like overwhelmingly great because um, also music is such a way into human beings, right? So if I'm playing a character who plays music or loves music, whatever, that's a huge way in to that person. It's like too much dessert or something. It's great, like getting the chances I've had to bring those things together. I want to do as much of that as possible, and it's great because they're sort of inherently separate things. So I don't worry too much about them like mixing in a way that I don't like. It's more just like um, the chances I get to have them come together, it's really exciting for me.
If I can pull you back to high school for just a moment, do you feel like you went into your high school career at CPFA with a mission, a direction? You knew exactly what you wanted to get from it, and you were like, perfect. They have the tools, they have the resources, they have the teachers, let's go. Or do you feel like you were more or less looking for maybe some kind of art program and you found out pretty quickly that you had a path that you could follow there?
Like I've always wanted to be an actor, always. From the time I was a small child, I was like, this thing makes sense to me, and I love doing it. You come in with a lot of passion, and you get into that like audition interview, and you're like, I love to act, and they're like, that's awesome. Also, you should like take a dance class or like a sculpture class. You should do that, or a puppetry class. In my case, that was one of the classes they offered there at the time. And so they really encourage a well-rounded approach, in addition to kind of giving you all these opportunities to pursue the things you're really passionate about. They're like, get out of your comfort zone a little bit and try this other thing, which I just think is so healthy and just promotes just like well-rounded artists and human beings and curiosity. It's kind of the ideal scenario. And so through that, even though again I was in acting classes and doing the plays there, I got back into dance. I danced like a long time ago when I was a littler kid. It became such a passion of mine while I was there, and such an amazing thing for my body to just be so in my body, which is also something that obviously very much feeds into both my acting work and music. So that was awesome. And there were so many different examples of that at that school. Kids who were painters who were taking a guitar class. And I mean, it was just, that was what was so encouraged. And I think that kind of mentality and ethos is just so healthy. And then you're discovering new passions. You know, you're like, wow, I never thought that I would be into this. And it's like, even if you never act again, taking this acting class when you were 13, like, did something for you. And it brought you out of your shell or pushed you out of your comfort zone. And yeah, it was really such an amazing environment to do that and then learn things about yourself in that way.
Do you remember any of the shows you did there?
I mean, the first one that I did there, I was in 6th grade, and we did Neil Simon's Fools. That's a special memory just because it was the first one I did there, and I got the part I wanted, and it was really, really, really special. And I am still best friends with people I acted with in that play. So it's
wow.
It's just that's a real. It has a very special place in my heart. But I think the last play I did there, which Mark Allen directed, was Moliere's The Learned Ladies of Park Avenue, which was such a hard play to do because it's all in rhyming couplets, and I was playing this part that this really like kind of domineering woman. I was often the mom. I played a lot of moms. There's a lot of that.
Okay, I feel you.
Yeah, which to this day I still am. That's still a casting that I get, which is very funny. I've played moms quite a few times.
Giving off that maternal vibe.
I guess. And I'm like, this is awesome. This is great. I'm also like, I feel like I have a long time to play moms, but here I am.
Yeah.
Moms. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Like that movie, Call Jane, I did a couple of years ago. I also was playing like a young pregnant mom. I was like, I don't know what it is about me that I'm giving off those vibes, but I'm not complaining. They're great parts. But so that play I think was a favorite just because it was so, I don't know, it required so much of all of us, and it was such a big swing of a character and fun, and the costumes were great, and it was just like everybody was just going for it, and I think we pulled off a pretty good production from what I remember. But yeah, I got a lot out of that. That was really fun. And I remember with it's funny, I still want to call him Mr. Allen. With Mark Allen, we just had so much fun collaborating on it. I remember that. He was such a great director that way. He wanted everybody to really bring their ideas and have fun and just take huge swings, and we really did with that one.
I'm going to let you take the lead here, but I'll be right behind you trying to think of things too. My brain has never been the same since I had children, so I'm going to put that out there.
Okay.
But we're going to try. We're going to go. We're going to get through as many of these as possible in 120 seconds. And I feel like I'm warming up my whole body because I'm getting ready.
Oh, wow. Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I really have no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah, this is new for both of us. So just know that. Here we go.
Awesome.
Okay. Just things that are sticky.
Jam.
Something you keep hidden.
Jewelry.
Stones/gems. Jasper.
Oh, very good.
Very good. Tourist attractions. Why was I going to say Jack and the Beanstalk? All right, we're moving on. Items in a vending machine.
Juju fees. I think
we're going to take
right,
it.
But, okay.
Names used in the Bible.
James.
Math terms. Math terms?
The beginning to J? Yeah. No. I have no idea.
Okay, we're moving on because I'm 0%.
0%.
Things that make you smile.
Jingle bells.
Okay. I couldn't. So yeah, get it. Excuses for being late.
Just missed the train.
So real. Vacation spots. Jamaica.
Yeah.
Queens.
Yeah. Oh, I love vacationing to Jamaica, Queens. Destination spot. It is.
Animals.
Jaguar.
Okay, and things you're allergic to.
Jaguars.
Okay, great. We win.
Yeah. 10 seconds on the clock.
Math. Justification? Is that a math term? Could I make
100%.
that one?
100%. Community is super important. having an artistic community that you can feel supported and uplifted by, whether that's through school or projects you work on, whatever it is. Fostering that is really, really important because this is a hard thing to do. And so doing it next to people who are in your corner is, I think, a really, really huge deal.
Well, it's the little things that make the world a better place. You don't have to be a hero. You can shovel the nice old lady next door that can't shovel her lawn. Grab a mail for her. Many small acts of kindness done by many, many people has a bigger impact than, one stupendous event.